So you want to play?
What is going on, Shining Legends? It is Professor Shining Legend, and today we are back. It's been a while. We're going to be doing a deck profile and my rendition of the leader card Cell. He's color green, and he's been doing pretty good in tournaments as of late. My wife, she enjoys using this deck. She thinks it's one of the stronger decks that I have put together. It's got a nice little tech in there. If you guys are interested in using it, feel free to. Let me know how it works out for you in the comments below. And if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. But with that being said, let's kind of go into what Cell does here. He has an activate main of once per turn, place one android card from your hand under this card, draw one card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO it. So some nice early pressure from that activate main and being able to fuel your androids underneath of your leader card. And then he has an awaken ability. When your life is at 4 or less, or there are 3 or more cards under this card, you may draw one card, switch up to one of your energy to active mode, add cards from your life to your hand until you have 5 life left, then flip this card over. So on his flip side, he has an auto of being able to place one android card from your hand under this card, and then when this card attacks, draw 2 cards, and then the activate main of once per turn, place 2 cards from under this card in their owner's drop areas, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, and this card gets plus 5,000 power and critical for the turn. So if you guys know, with this leader, if you are going second and on your first turn, if your hand and the opponent's battle state and board allows for it, you can awaken on your first turn. So we'll kind of take a look at what that looks like and how to achieve it. I have 4 of the Android 18. She allows you to draw a card whenever she's played, and then her activate main allows you to, if your leader card is a mono green Cell card, place this card under your leader card. So it allows you to put it underneath of the leader. So pretty much like the show, absorbing the androids. And then Android 17, he allows you, when he is played, to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then add up to 1 green android card from among them and then shuffle your deck. So being able to choose what you put in your hand is always nice, and with this deck, you should be always seeing android cards whenever you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. And then he has an activate main. If your leader card is a mono green Cell card, place this card under your leader card. So as I said, just like the show, absorbing the androids, and he gets stronger. Then we have 3 of the Cell Startling Assimilations. This guy can be played whenever your leader's ability KOs one of your opponent's battle cards, and then you get to play it in rest mode. And then he has the Union Absorb ability, where he can put an Android 17 card underneath of him from either your hand or the drop area. And then you can play up to 1 multicolor Cell, which is very nice, and I'll show you kind of how I run the deck. I've seen some different renditions of it, but mine's, basically how it's intended with, as I said, a couple fun texts there at the end of the deck that I'll show you guys. But you get to play up to 1 multicolor Cell card with an energy cost of 4. So he is one of the ones that you're going to want to see early on in your hand when you're starting the game. This guy is similar in the fact that he can be played for free, meeting the requirement that you have a green Unison card in play and your opponent has no battle cards. You can play him in rest mode, and his Union Absorb ability is the same as the Startling Assimilations. Then you got the Android 17 and 18. I have 4 of these. Very nice being able to apply that early pressure with the 10,000 critical, and then this thing can be played whenever you KO something, one of your opponent's battle cards. So that's very nice. This also fuels the fire of being able to get absorbed by the leader. The activate main says if your leader card is mono green Cell card and you place this card under your leader card, draw 1 card. So that's nice because it gets to replace itself, and it also qualifies as a Android 17 and Android 18. So whenever your Union Absorb ability requires that, you can use this one for that because it counts as both. We have the Unison, the most filthy Unison in the game right now, I would venture to say. There's a couple other really good ones, but with this deck, this one is nasty. When you activate a Union skill, draw a card, and that's really what you do with this deck, and what you try to achieve is getting this guy out. He draws you a card, and then whenever you Union Absorb, you get to draw a card. So you're basically drawing 2 cards whenever you go into that chain. And then this guy has Barrier, and you can evolve with an Android 17, or you can Union Absorb, and then you can place an Android 18 under this card for the cost of 1 green, or you can do that from your hand or drop area, and you can play one of the multicolored cell cards with an energy cost of 8 from your deck or drop area, which is huge. Being able to not expend your resources from your hand and being able to go grab stuff from your deck or your drop area and being able to play it is just absolutely nutty. So they play in conjunction with each other very well. But this guy, whenever he's up to 6-7 markers and stuff, you need to be very, very careful. If you see this on your opponent's board, you need to do what you can to try and remove markers from him, because his neg-7 ability has an activate main. If your leader card is mono green, look at your opponent's life, place one card among them in their drop area, then your opponent shuffles their life, chooses 3 cards in their hand and discards them. So losing 3 cards is nasty enough, but if you have literally 1 life left and your opponent can neg-7, it's a GG. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just GG. So definitely pay attention to your opponent if they have this out on their field. Then the activate main +2 is pretty good with the side deck that I have, because it gives your stuff revenge, and a lot of the stuff in the side deck that I have can play some like free blockers or blockers for cheap, and giving them revenge is always nice. Being able to utilize that ability a little bit more, because I feel like not many people care for that one, and it can be pretty nice for you, and I'll show you what I mean whenever I show you guys my side deck. But yeah, the auto and the activate main are what makes this unison the best unison for this deck, in my opinion. So then we have 3 of the 8 drop Cell Unending Torrents. This is my favorite go-to play because it has built-in protection, and this card used in conjunction with another card, which I'll show you here momentarily, is super huge. And whenever I explain the deck, I explain this one as the one Krillin getting kicked in the face, because that's what's happening, and it's, I would say, as I said, the best 8 drop for the deck. So if you don't know what he does, he has Energy Exhaust Blocker, Evolve 3, Android 18. If this card would be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you may place 2 cards from under this card in their owner's drop areas instead. Activate Battle. Once per turn, if your leader card is a Cell card and you place 1 card from under this card in its owner's drop area, switch this card's active mode. So why that's pretty big and like really good for this deck is because of this guy right here. This guy, Android 20 Vial Creator, is a card that you will combo with. You're going to pay 1, and it gives your card 5,000 power. And then it says when you combo with this card during your turn, choose up to one of your attacking green Android cards. So this would even count towards your leader, or it would count towards this guy right here. And it gets plus 5,000 power and double strike for the duration of the turn. So you're going to be swinging, 30,000 double strike, and then you get to restand it by the activate battle, and you can choose to keep him standing up and utilize his blocker ability, or you can swing in again with 25,000 double strike. And as I said, that can apply to your leader card as well, because swinging in with 20,000, it would be 20,000 critical, and then playing this and giving it the double strike and the plus 10, that would be nasty, and your opponent definitely isn't going to want to take that. And if they do, as I said, this deck is just really good at taking your opponent's resources and getting rid of them. And so with that being said, we'll go into this card, which does just that. It has double strike, evolve 2 green, and 4 for Cell. When you play this card, if your leader card is an Android, your opponent must choose cards in their hand until there are only 3 remaining and place the chosen cards in the drop area. So I've only played this line and this play once. Whenever I played it, it was detrimental. You play it with the Wretched Regeneration extra card. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty much a GG from there, but I like to have variations, so I have quite a few one-ofs in this deck, and but this one is a nice line of play as well. But we'll go into some of the other ones that we have in the deck here. So we have also 2 of the Cell Perfection Misspent. It's got a negate built into it, which you don't have to pay for other than by putting an Android 18 card and this card into your drop area. So that's nice. And then the 4 drop underneath of it is going to be played again, so you'll be able to start your chain up really quickly from there. But yeah, being able to negate an attack without having to pay anything for it, that's pretty good. And this thing KOs whenever it comes into play. So when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So it doesn't matter the cost. You can KO anything, and as long as it doesn't have barrier, and that's pretty good as well. And you get to play stuff for free whenever stuff is KO'd in this deck. So nice little piece to the KO package there. And then being in the talk of KOing stuff, who better than Frieza Charismatic Villain? This is a counterplay. You get to play this card for free when you have a green unison card with 2 or more markers in play. So extreme value there. Turn 2, you generally are going to be playing your unison and potentially awaking if you didn't do that on your first turn. And then when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less and KO it. That's really nice because you get to utilize the auto instead of the counterplay, so it gets past deflect. Whenever you get past deflect and stuff on what your opponent thinks is going to be a good card for them, and they utilize their resources, and then you freeze a Charismatic Villain, it just, it puts a damper in their game plan. And this card has been a staple for a while, super strong, and I definitely recommend even one more of them because of how good it is. You like to be able to see it and have access to it. So another kind of staple card for color green, Majin Buu Unadulterated Malice. If you don't know what he does, he's a counterattack, and if your leader card is green, negate the attack, then play this card. If you played a card, choose one card in your hand, discard it, and then your opponent can attack for the turn unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and discard them each time. So basically a topo, but for green, and just really good value for 2. Sometimes your opponent might swing if they have a pretty good sized hand, but this will usually slow them down, and they very well may end the turn once this is played. For our super combos, we have different ones, and I will explain why. We have 2 of the Great Saiyamans, just because they cycle for you. You can, whenever you combo with the card, you can take a card and put it from your hand to the bottom of the deck and then draw 2 cards. So nice cycling. Android 18 Bionic Blitz is nice because she removes an opponent's resource from their hand by placing it at the bottom of the deck whenever you combo with her. So very nice being able to even further limit your opponent's resources. And then the 17 and 18 team up attack is played in conjunction with this card right here. What you want to do is give the visual interpretation that you're tapped out when you have this in your hand, and then this comes in, you're gonna be charging with this. It's gonna be energy exhaust, and you usually want to do it turn 3, turn 4, or whenever you're charging your 3rd or 4th energy. And as I said, you're gonna give the visual image to your opponent that you're tapped out, and they're gonna possibly be a little bit more aggressive. They're going to spend more energy on their play. They're going to try and exert more resources into applying pressure to your life and winning the game. But whenever you super combo with this and you're able to restand in energy, then you have something that you can have access to for a negate, or anything that you're going to be playing for the color blue and green at the cost of 1 energy. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can throw into the deck that'll help you utilize that little play right there. So if you end up turning this into something a little bit more, let me know how it goes for you and if that little play line works there. But even after that, you get to go into this card for a blue and a green, and you can tap the card itself and then play it. So that's really cool. And when it's played, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. So it's some removal, and it's got deflect and dual attack. So very nice play for turn 3 or 4. Because this deck really does establish itself within the first 2 turns. There's just so much that you have going on for you, and then going into this, turn 3 or 4 and stuff is not bad at all. I apologize about that. So with that being said, we have a one of him as well. If you don't know what he does, he's a monster. He helped me come in 2nd place at my pre-release. So his name's Cell, the ultimate bio android. He has deflect, dual attack. When this card is played, from your energy, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck. Auto once per turn. If this card is in a battle, when your opponent activates a counterattack skill, they place 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. And then it's got an activate main, limit 1 blue, 1 green, and 2, play this card from your hand or energy, and it gains double strike for the turn. So, as I said, this card is straight up nasty. You get to use this card in your energy as part of the cost and then play it, and most of the time when I've played that card, it's been GG. And the opponent has a hard time stopping it, and it just further, as I said, this deck is limiting your opponent's resources and being able to rip them out of their hand, or being able to, crit them from their life to their drop area, and not having access to their resources is huge. This card is a lot better than I originally anticipated. As an auto, when you combo with this card from your drop area, choose up to 1 green, yellow, multicolor Sun Gohan Childhood card in your battle area and switch it to active mode. I haven't really thought about a play line where that would be, necessary with this card in this deck, so I just ignore that one. But his activate main, if your opponent has 4 or more energy and you have a cell card with an energy cost or 4 or more in play this card from your hand, and if you do, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and you can't play this card for the duration of the turn. So that's huge because it also targets leaders, it targets unisons, it targets battle cards, so very nice. I know that some of these new unisons that can be absurdly strong have stuff like blocker and are able to restand, so being able to see this and having it as one of is really good value, being able to play it for free too. And then we have another one of Cell Abominable Power, has double strike, dual attack, just nice boss monster, has an EX evolve of 3, and then you have to do it over top of a cell with an energy cost of 8 or 9. He has an auto once per turn. When this card attacks, choose one card in your opponent's hand and discard it. So just a continuation of limiting your opponent's resources. And then auto, when this card is used in a combo from your drop area, if it would leave your combo area this turn, remove it from the game instead. And then in activate battle, you can pay 1. Use this card in a combo from your drop area. Additionally, if your leader card is a green or yellow android card, this card gets plus 5,000 combo power for the battle, which I have done that, and it was such a huge play. Like, it really honestly probably saved me the game, because I didn't have anything in my hand, but I did have open energy, and that plus 10, saved me that turn. So I really did enjoy being able to utilize this card the way that, that activate battle incorporates it too. Then we have a one of Golden Frieza, Newfound Might. Very nice unison. I don't have a secret rare for this deck. That's why you see some of the one-ofs that you do. You got to make up for what you can with what you have, and this is what I have. So he's got Empower Green for dual attack, blocker, counter attack. Play this card with 3 markers on it. If this card has 4 or more markers on it, when this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and KO them. So nice little board wipe there for you potentially if your opponent doesn't have anything with barrier on it. And then it has a neg 4 activate main. This card gets 10,000 power and triple strike for the turn, and then you can switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. Wow, that is a lot of good stuff on one card. I was glad to pull that the other day, and now I decided that I'm going to incorporate it into this deck because it's just a generically good green card. You can pretty much throw that into anything for the color green, and it will have good usage for you. Then we have a one of a Vegeta Resolve, Agent of Destruction. This card isn't really necessary, but I like being able to have options, and this one can put on huge pressure for 4. Double strike critical, choose one card in your hand and discard it. When this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO them. So if you have an opponent's board that's really stingy, so maybe even like the Vegeta Trunks deck, where they have all those barrier blockers and they're just kind of establishing a wall of defense, this card would be very nicely incorporated against that. And then it's got a +1 activate main. This card gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. And then a neg 5 activate main. If your leader card is an evil wizard card or all of your energy is mono green, choose 3 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them. So if you want to play that ability, just make sure you don't charge the android or the cell card, because those are multicolor and the color blue. So finishing it up here with the main deck, we have Cell's Earth Destroying Kamehameha, a nice 1-cost extra card that has an activate battle. If your leader card is green, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards, and it gets plus 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. And then auto, if all of your energy is green when you activate this card, choose one card in your opponent's hand and place it in the drop area. Homicidal Clones, nice little negate blocker who you don't have to use energy for to be able to play him. You can use your life. As long as your life is at 5 or less, you can activate the counter skill by adding 1 card from your life to your hand instead of paying the energy cost. And then Wretched Regeneration, which is a nice counter and a nice activate main. So whenever you use the counter attack ability, if your leader card is Cell, negate the attack. Additionally, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, play up to 1 green Cell card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area. And then its activate main is 2 green and then 2 of any color. If your leader card is a Cell card, play up to 1 Cell Xeno card from under your leader card, or 1 green Cell card with an energy cost of 7 or 8 from under your leader card. So I usually go into the Perfect Force Cell card with Wretched Regeneration whenever I go with that playline. And Shining Legends, it's been great. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week. And shine on. Shining Legend is shining out.